Hugo Boss. Welcome to the 10-Minute Short, a channel dedicated to providing you with bite-sized and engaging content that you can enjoy in just 10 minutes. So sit back, relax, and get ready to explore a world of fascinating stories, interesting facts, and thought-provoking ideas all in just 10 minutes. Hugo Boss is a fashion brand that has become a household name, known for its sleek and stylish designs. However, few people are aware of the company's controversial past and its ties to the Nazi Party. Discover the fascinating history of Hugo Boss, from its origins as a supplier of uniforms for the Nazi Party to its transformation into a leading fashion brand. Hugo Ferdinand Boss, the founder of the fashion brand Hugo Boss, started his company in 1924 in Metzingen, Germany. The company initially focused on producing workwear and uniforms for a variety of organizations, including the Nazi Party. During the 1930s, the Nazi Party began gaining power in Germany, and many businesses sought to establish relationships with the party to secure contracts and avoid persecution. Hugo Boss was one such company, and it became one of the largest suppliers of uniforms for the Nazi Party. In 1945, at the end of World War II, Hugo Boss was investigated by the Allies for its role in producing uniforms for the Nazi Party. As a result of this investigation, Boss was initially classified as an active supporter of the Nazi Party and was fined and stripped of his voting rights. However, in the years that followed, Boss was able to rehabilitate his reputation and re-establish his company. He shifted the focus of his business to producing men's suits and began to distance himself from his company's past association with the Nazis. Despite this, the company's past continued to be a source of controversy, and in the 1990s, allegations about Hugo Boss's involvements with the Nazis were once again brought to light. The company ultimately commissioned an independent investigation confirming its ties to the Nazi Party and acknowledging its role in producing uniforms for the party. Since then, Hugo Boss has made efforts to publicly acknowledge and confront its past. In 2011, the company released a statement acknowledging its history and expressing regret for its association with the Nazi Party. It has also taken steps to support education and research about the Holocaust and has made contributions to organizations dedicated to promoting tolerance and understanding. Let's cover it in more detail. Early years. Hugo Boss established his own apparel business in Metzingen, Germany in 1923. Together with two partners, he founded a factory in 1924. The firm manufactured shirts, jackets, work attire, sportswear, and raincoats. Boss was compelled to declare bankruptcy because of the economic situation in Germany at the time. He and his creditors arranged in 1931 and were given 6 sewing machines to use going forward, manufacturing for the Nazi Party. In the same year, Hugo Boss joined the Nazi Party and was sponsored by the Schutzstaffel. His membership number was 508889. In addition, he joined the Reich Air Protection Organization in 1939, the German Workers' Front in 1936, and the National Socialist People's Welfare in 1941. Also, he belonged to both the Reichskriegerbund and the Reichsbund for physical training. His revenues surged when he joined these organizations, rising from 38,260 Reichsmark, $26,993 in 1932, to almost 3,300,000 Reichsmark in 1941. Likely he did not start providing them until 1928, despite his assertion in a 1934-1935 advertisement that he had been a provider for National Socialist uniforms since 1924. This year, he obtained a license from the Reichsjugmeisterie and began supplying the Hitler Youth National Socialist Motor Corps, Sturmabteilung, SA, Schutzstaffel, SS, Wehrmacht, and other party groups with uniforms. By the third quarter of 1932, SS members Walter Heck and Karl Diebicht had created the all-black SS outfit. One of the businesses that made these black uniforms for the SS was Hugo Boss. The company began concentrating its efforts in 1938 on creating uniforms for the Waffen-SS and eventually the Wehrmacht. Hugo Boss employed 140 forced laborers, most women, during the Second World War. 40 French POWs also briefly worked for the business between October 1940 and April 1941, in addition to these employees. According to German historian Henning Kober, the corporate management were ardent Nazis whom all had a strong admiration for Adolf Hitler. Hugo Boss kept a portrait of Hitler and himself from the Berghof, Hitler's Oberstolzberg hideaway, in his flat in 1945. Boss was regarded as an activist and supporter and benefactor of National Socialism due to his early participation in the Nazi Party, his financial support of the SS, and the uniforms provided to the Nazi Party. In the 1946 decision, he was sentenced to a very hefty penalty of 100,000, 70,553 US dollars, or 54,008 British pounds, and also denied the ability to vote and manage a business. Boss filed an appeal, and as a result, he was given a lower classification, follower, meaning that he was no longer seen as actively promoting National Socialism. He passed away in 1948, but his company continued. Hugo Boss published a statement in 2011 expressing deep remorse to individuals who endured damage or suffering at the Hugo Boss factory run under the National Socialist Administration. Post-war, due to the restriction on Boss's ability to conduct business, his son-in-law, Eugene Holy, assumed control and management of the organization. After some time of providing work uniforms, the company in 1950 received its first order for men's suits, leading to an increase in staff to 150 by the end of the year. The firm began making ready-made suits in 1960. Once Eugene retired in 1969, his sons, Jochen and Ewa, took over the business. They started expanding internationally, and the first clothes with the Boss brand were created in 1970, and in 1977, the company registered its trademark. After then, the business began its long involvement in motorsport by supporting Formula One driver Niki Lauda and eventually McLaren Racing Team. The initial Boss branded fragrance debuted in 1984. The company achieved the necessary growth and was listed on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange the following year. In 1986, the company started supporting Bernhard Langer in golf. Then in 1987, the Davis Cup in tennis. And then the first authorized sunglasses from Boss were introduced in 1989. Later on in the year, a Japanese consortium purchased the business. Hugo and Baldessarini were launched in 1993, following the Marzotto Textile Group's $165 million 1991 purchase of a 77.5% interest. The business introduced its first line of leather items, footwear, in 1995. Since then, all sub-brands have added leather products to their product line. The Hugo Boss Prize, an annual $100,000 award in modern art granted since 1996, is the outcome of an alliance with the Solomon R. Guggenheim Foundation, was started in 1995. Products. Boss and Hugo are Hugo Boss's two leading brands. Items are produced worldwide, including the company's production facilities in Cleveland, United States, Izmir, Turkey, Moraville, Poland, and Metzingen, Germany. Hugo Boss has made technological investments in its made-to-measure program, using machines to perform nearly all the tailoring that was formerly done by hand. To create products bearing the Hugo Boss name, Hugo Boss has license arrangements with other businesses. They include contracts with companies to manufacture mobile phones from Samsung, HTC, and Huawei, sports equipment from Nike Inc., children's apparel from CWF, Children Worldwide, Fashion SAS, skincare products from Coty, watches from Movado, and eyewear from Safilo. Hugo Boss developed the first vegan men's suit in 2020, utilizing only non-animal products for all materials, colors, and chemicals. Controversies. Hugo Boss is a fashion brand that is known for its sleek and stylish designs. However, the company has faced controversy in the past due to its association with the Nazi Party during World War II. As a supplier of uniforms for the Nazi regime, Hugo Boss has been criticized for its complicity in the atrocities committed by the Nazi Party. Despite the company's attempts to distance itself from its past, the controversy surrounding its Nazi ties continues to be a contentious issue. Some have called for a boycott on the brand, while others argue that it is unfair to judge the company based on its actions during a dark and tumultuous time in history. The controversy surrounding Hugo Boss and its ties to the Nazi Party raises important questions about the role of businesses in times of political upheaval and societal unrest. It also highlights the importance of acknowledging and confronting the dark chapters of our past in order to promote healing and progress in the present. Conclusion. The history of Hugo Boss and its contracts with the Nazi regime serves as a reminder of the importance of corporate social responsibility and ethical business practices. Companies have a responsibility to uphold basic human rights, and to avoid supporting or participating in activities that cause harm to individuals or groups. Furthermore, it highlights the need for businesses to be transparent and accountable about their past actions, even if they occurred many years ago. By acknowledging and addressing past mistakes, companies can take steps towards repairing trust with their customers and building a more ethical and sustainable future. In conclusion, while Hugo Boss's collaboration with the Nazi regime is part of its history, it is essential for businesses to learn from the past and commit to ethical business practices that promote social and environmental responsibility. And that's it for today's episode of 10 Minute Short. We hope you enjoyed this quick and informative exploration of our topic. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you never miss out on our future episodes. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or topics you'd like us to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below. We love hearing from our viewers, and it helps us create content that you'll love. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on 10 Minute Short.